How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Today we are looking at the whole cryptocurrency market. We're going to take a look at some of the FUD or some of the bad news that's happened recently for crypto, and then also take a look at some of the good news and a potential short squeeze for crypto, specifically Bitcoin. Now, with that being said, I just want to apologize, first of all, because my nose is so congested, but I want to bring this information to you because there are no days off in the crypto market. So there are no days off here either, unless something's really going wrong. So I feel great, but the nose is a little bit congested. So I apologize for that. But we're going to get into it first. Just if you guys don't mind, hitting the like button and the subscribe button, I really appreciate that. Also, there is a link down there to FTX. I started using it really recently, and they have near zero fees on a ton of different cryptocurrencies, and they also have zero fees on their NFT platform. So they have one on here, and it's off-chain, so you don't have to pay hundreds of dollars in gas fees. Also, they are just a really user-friendly product to use. I really like the user interface, and it's very appealing. With that being said, there are a couple links underneath the video. You can get some free crypto when you use those links and fund your account. One is to FTX, formerly Blockfolio, and that's the one I use. And then there's also one for more pro traders, which is the FTX.US Pro. So check out those links underneath the video. Now let's get into it. So the whole cryptocurrency market is down, but it's not too far down. It's down about 2%. With that being said, the whole stock market's down too, about 1.5%. So really, crypto isn't doing that poorly compared to the overall market. Usually we see crypto fall a lot more. Why is this happening? Let's cover some of the fear, uncertainty, and doubt today. And just because it is FUD doesn't mean necessarily that it's wrong. So fear, uncertainty, and doubt can just be truthful fear, uncertainty, and doubt about the future. Now, Goldman Sachs cuts U.S. economic forecast after Joe Manchin rejects Build Back Better. So this was the $1.75 trillion bill. Now, the bank trimmed the GDP forecast for the second quarter to 3%, the third quarter to 2.75%, and then also the first quarter at 2%. So they cut these down a significant amount because there's going to be a lot less money flowing in. So let's look at some of the other FUD. And whenever we see the markets dip, I've said this a lot of times, always be ready for FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, because there's always people that want to push it down further. There are always people that want to make money on the fact that it is falling down. So first of all, DeFi protocol Gram Finance lost 30 million. I think that is obviously just a bad thing that happened. I don't think that that's misinformation or anything like that. But there are some things that are just framed in a weird way. For example, we have Kraken CEO reverses $100,000 Bitcoin 2021 forecast, says crypto winter is now possible. Now, I read this. He said that's possible, not probable. Also, we have this death cross that pushed Bitcoin price to 28.8 thousand reappearing. So people are worried, right? When they see titles like this, that is not something that they like to see. That makes them really worried about their investments. Fed shifts to inflation battle. We know that the Fed is talking about raising rates next year, which is scary for high speculation investments. We have Omicron that is really transmissible. We have Evergrande, which China just is trying to contain it. They took back two plots of land today. And then also JP Morgan Chase developing its own blockchain. So there are so many things coming out. It can be really scary as an investor. But just remember, there's always more FUD. There are always more negative articles like this when the market falls. I guarantee you that if we see a couple big weeks at the beginning of January, these will be turned around and everything will be positive. Like 99% of things will be positive. Now, JP Morgan Chase is obviously one of the banks that is against cryptocurrency as opposed to something like Morgan Stanley, which is actually trying to go with the wave. Now, they have been very negative on it, like I said, saying that Bitcoin is basically worthless, but then they're trying to create something that is very similar to Bitcoin. They're setting up a payment system with Simons. So this is interesting to see the news, but overall, I think it does make people fearful. One other thing making people fearful is the estimated leverage ratio. Now, I am not a great on-chain analyst or crypto analyst or anything like that. I look at a lot of the macro environment, but this is something that I've looked at a good amount because when we are pushing up in price and there's a lot of leverage in the market, oftentimes we see drops. We see people get liquidated. One thing that is interesting about this is Will Clemente, who is one of the best on-chain analysts, is saying that Bitcoin could actually be ready for a short squeeze. He said the last time I called for a Bitcoin short squeeze was on July 23rd, the day before we squeezed off the summer lows. And he says we're not currently there yet, but the setup is becoming more likely in his opinion. Seeing funding stay negative through the pump over the last 24 hours shows that we could potentially be setting up for a short squeeze. He also adds in another post that he had been recently saying that he sees people talking about a leverage long wipeout. He says he disagrees. If anything, a short squeeze is more likely to happen. Yes, OI is creeping back up, but it's seeing funding with a low LS ratio. Here are my thoughts from the newsletter. So we could potentially see a short squeeze. We have to remember that the leverage isn't just longs, it's also shorts. So if we start to see this, and we've seen a battle over about 45,000 to about 50,000 over the last week or two, if we see this continue where the leverage continues to go up, we could be ready for a very quick movement starting in the new year. Now, we could see it before then too, but I think what we've noticed is there are a lot of institutions that made a lot of big money, and there are a lot of people that bought in recently that have lost money, and they're either taking profits because they made so much through the year, large institutions, or people that bought up at 60,000 are now selling off because there's no wash rule. So people are taking tax advantages on this, and they're looking to put money back in, I would assume, at the beginning of the next year. That is just my opinion, but overall, I am not scared at the cryptocurrency market. Sure, we have a lot of negative news, but we always do when we fall down. I talked about recently why I'm going all in, why I am so excited about crypto moving forward, and I talked about how I still have money on the sidelines. Going all in doesn't necessarily mean putting all my money in for me. It means going very heavily, and I always believe that you should have some cash on the sidelines. So I talked about why I am so excited about crypto for 2022 here. I also talked about it in the top 10 video from just a few days ago, talking about where we are in the macro environment. We have to remember CPI, PPI is going insane. Yes, we didn't have a $2 trillion deal that would have pushed up inflation even more, but we still have pumped so much money into the system. We also have some of the largest companies in the world, some of the nations of the world buying into this crypto narrative. So we have banks that are going to offer this to their clients here over the coming year, and I think there will be this cascading effect where there will be more and more attention put on crypto. It'll become it'll become a very strong asset class over the coming years. Now, I also believe in diversification. I still have money in real estate. I have money in stocks. I have money in crypto. So I do believe that that is smart, just because if there is a dip in one particular sector, then you can use the money from some of your other investments to throw in it, or just because you never know what will happen. And if things come up in life and you need a little bit of money, it's better to take money from something that is not down significantly. So diversification is key. But I wanted to show you this saying, hey, it's not all bad out there. We could be getting ready for a leg up very soon. Now, if you guys want more information on my top 10 cryptos, I'll put that up on the end screen, and also why I went all in recently. And you can check out some of the other videos too if you want to. Thank you guys so much. Definitely check out FTX underneath the video to get some to start investing in some cryptocurrencies on a really easy to use platform that is very cheap, that could literally save you thousands of dollars by the end of your investing journey, probably tens of thousands. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.